Hello, my name is Jenna, and I am going to do my July reads that I've read in July. I don't have the book. Well, I have 2 of the books on me, and 3 of the books I got out of the library, so I'm just going to put a picture up here. So the first book I read, I read was The Gilded Ones by Noemi Forna. It's about a 16-year-old Dika. 16-year-old Dika lives in fear and anticipation of the blood ceremony that will determine whether she will become a member of a village. Already different from everyone else because of her unnatural institution, Dika prays for red blood so she can finally feel like she belongs. But on the day of the ceremony, her blood runs gold, the color of impurity, and Dika knows she will face the consequences worse than death. The mystery woman comes to her with a choice: stay in the village and submit to her fate, or leave to fight for the emperor and an army of girls just like her. I honestly love this book. I really want to get it and reread it and then get the second book. I don't rate the books anymore because I really don't like reading them, but I do recommend this book if you like mystery and mostly teenagers looking to find out where she belongs in life, trying to find information on her mom. But other than that, just someone who's trying to survive and wanting to belong. So that's the first book. That's the second book I finished. First book I finished was on July 2nd, and it was White Fragility: Why Is It So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism by Robin DiAngelo. Anger, fear, guilt, denial, silence. These are the ways in which ordinary white people react when it is pointed out to them that they have done or said something that has unintentionally caused racial offense or hurt. After all, a racist is the worst thing. After all, a racist is the worst thing a person can be, right? But these reactions only serve to silence people of color who cannot give honest feedback to liberal white people, lest they provoke a dangerous emotional reaction. I recommend this book. It taught me a lot. I read it through audio. I listened to it through audiobook, and then I have so I'm gonna reread it again, just not right now. And excuse me, I spilled. Oopsie. And then the third book I finished was, I'm going to put a picture up here, it's from the Blue Skin Guards by S.J. Zindu. In India, a boy is born with blue skin. His father sets up an ashram, and the family makes a living off of pilgrims who seek the child's blessings and miracles, believing young Kalki to be a 10th human incarnation of the Hindu god Vishnu. Let's put it this way. If you don't want spoilers, just skip this talk, but well, actually, just go to the description box. I'll have, hopefully by the time this video is out, I'll have, well, actually, I won't have the blog up right away for this one because I'm going to be taking my time on it. But I should have the blog up by, I'm hoping, next week. It is actually August 2nd. Well, August the 3rd now because it's 12:42. And I'll try to get the blogs ready for next week. But it's a good book. I recommend it if you want a boy who learns where he honestly comes from, and he's learning that why his skin is blue and who his real family is, and discovering who he is surrounded by loss, and then going to find his way once he learns the truth. The fourth book I read was My Dog Vanessa. It's about a teacher-student relationship. Vanessa was 15, and Jacob Strides was, so he was 42. I thought he was 32, so 42 years old, and an English student an English teacher at the school. In 2017, during the whole movement at that time, I think there's always been allegations or complaints against teachers of inappropriate teacher-student relationship. I found sometimes the book was hard to read, but I was able to finish it, also through audiobook. The raising wave of allegations against powerful men, and reckoning is coming due. Strain has been accused of sexual abuse by a former student who reaches out to Vanessa, and now Vanessa suddenly finds herself facing an impossible choice. Remain silent, firm in the belief that her teenage self willingly engaged in this relationship, or redefine herself and the events of her past. But how can Vanessa reject her first love, the man who fundamentally transformed her and has been a persistent presence in her life? Is it possible that man she loved as a teenager, who professed to worship only her, may be far different from what she was asked to believe? And yeah, he was far from different. He was not truthful. It's a book that starts at the beginning, starts now, and then goes to the past, from 2006 and up. I found it hard to read, but it's a good book. I recommend it if you can handle that. It does have talk about sexual abuse, but I recommend it. Just beware that there is talk about sexual assault. No, not sexual assault. Sexual abuse, yes, or manipulation. Okay. So I have a cough, and I'm losing my voice. So, the last book I read, because I came down with COVID the last week of July, and I was in no mood to read the first week for the first 5 days. I started reading back up on July 31st, so this is the last book on the last day of the month. And it's called So You Want to Talk About Race by Ijum Yula. So I cannot pronounce her name. I also read this through audiobook. And again, I suggest I recommend this book. Widespread reporting on aspects of white supremacy, from police brutality to the mass incarnation of Black Americans, has put a media spotlight on racism in our society. Still, it's a difficult subject to talk about. How do you tell your roommate his jokes are racist? Why did your sister-in-law take umbrage when you asked to touch her hair? Umbrage? And how do you make it right? How do you explain white privilege to your white privileged friend? And so you want to talk about race? Ijum guides readers of all races through subject ranging from I recommend this. It actually taught me a lot, and about my white privilege, because I do have white privilege. I'm gonna reread this one again and tab it so I can get back, because I sometimes forget what is in books. Sorry. So, anyways, that's the end of my July reads. If you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. If you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. If you want notifications, hit the notification bell. And if you like this video, give it a like. I'll see you in my next video. So this video should be coming up for my August TBR, which I'm actually filming on the same night because I have the same shirt on. Next, and then I'm gonna have another video out after that. But I also have a video that I videoed before I got COVID, and I want to bring that one out where I go pick out, I donate to the free libraries and see if there's any books I want to read. Thank you, and please